It's the musicality addiction.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Esoteric Podcast.
Welcome everyone. As always, I am T.J.Bunker. With me is Wesley, otherwise known as Demo Sci for reasons nobody knows, and RJ, otherwise known as Tuskgarr, for reasons that make more sense, but I forget.
It was because when I created the username, it was an old World of Warcraft character that was a troll, and he had tusks, and I was like,
that's right.
I want to make a tusk pun, but I'm not creative enough to make one. And then, of course, Wrath of the Lich King launched, and then one of the mobs actually had the name of Tuskgarr, which without the G, and now it's just like, fuck, I was here first, fuck you guys.
Yeah. So, if you like Wesley, you can listen to more of his crap over on YouTube at Demos Space I. I have no idea why, but Demos Space I. He thinks he's Greek, and then he remembered he's not, so he had to put an I after it. I don't know.
Yes, that's what happened.
RJ, come the new year, hopefully, still the new year.
Yep, that's the goal.
We'll be back streaming on Twitch.
Maybe with some YouTube gameplay footage, too.
Ooh, maybe with some YouTube attached. That could be cool. And we, of course, this is the Esoteric Podcast. You can catch us live, as we are right now, as I am talking, on twitch.tv/the_esoteric_podcast. Or you might be watching the edited version of this, our live stream, usually about 2 hours. Our edited version, 60 to 90 minutes, over on YouTube. We are the Esoteric Podcast on YouTube. We're not cool enough yet for a custom URL on YouTube, so we're like youtube.com/LJD6357W.
God damn it, YouTube, give us partnership already.
But you can also find us on Twitter. We are at the Esoteric Pod over on Twitter. We Twitter poorly. We're going to get better, I promise.
New Year's resolution. We're going to be better at Twitter.
New Year's resolution. We will try.
Massive air quotes on try.
We also have a blog that I'm going to update this week. We'll have a second blog this week. It'll be fun and exciting.
There's a blog up there already?
No, I'm going to put that one up and do a second one.
Oh.
My plan is to do blogs on Thursdays. So I'm going to get the first one up that I have done. I just haven't uploaded it because I've been just freaking busy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to upload that either tonight or tomorrow. And then Thursday, I'm going to do my actual Thursday one. And then every Thursday is the plan. There'll be a new blog. We'll see if that goes. And then if you like what we're doing, you want to maybe see our faces, you know, you want us to have better microphones, better computers, better video games, support us on Patreon. We are patreon.com/esoteric podcast. Give us a little bit of money.
Heck yeah! The more money we get, the less time we have to actually dedicate to our actual real jobs, and we can actually put more research and time into these things.
Yeah, we would love to be able to do whatever replaces Skyrim as the new Elder Scrolls game. You know, but I currently don't have the 100 hours free in a week to do that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I couldn't even find the time myself.
Says the guy without a job.
Yes. Very busy schedule. Finals of this week.
That would mean something if I knew you didn't waste your time frivolously. Look at me, I must stare at this paint dry on the wall for at least an hour. Because, I don't know, Walmart hasn't thrown me out yet.
I'll buy another 4 hours of watching the grass grow.
And then
So this week...
Yeah. Go on.
This week's the Esoteric Podcast. We are going to talk about Final Fantasy VII. Just hold over from last week's Final Fantasy talk. We just kept wanting to go on about Final Fantasy games. So we're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII. And then we're coming up...
belt buckles.
Yes. And then we are coming up on Christmas. We have 2 Christmas movies we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about A Christmas Story. Yay! We're going to talk about...
National Lampoon's.
National Lampoon, that's the word I was thinking. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Because, well, other than Die Hard, most other Christmas movies suck. Or everybody has seen them so many times they wouldn't want to listen to us talk about them.
And for those of you out there that say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, fuck you.
Die Hard 4 is not a Christmas movie?
I'm not talking about Die Hard 4. I'm talking about Die Hard 1.
Well, Die Hard 1 and 2 both took place at Christmas, so...
But it ain't Christmas until I see Hans Gruber fall off at Nakatomi Plaza, goddammit.
I have yet to watch Die Hard, so you know.
Your life sucks.
Oh my god, Wesley, you need to get the fuck back down here ASAP.
Stop watching paint dry and watch Die Hard, for Christ's sake.
I'm finishing Friends, man.
That's even worse than watching paint dry. Instead of watching Friends.
Yeah, Mr. I Was Born in season 3?
Yeah, you would have been born in around season 3.
Because, the show started in 94, right?
Yeah.
Mr. I Was Born during season 3 of Friends decided he needs to marathon Friends. I don't know.
God, that show is so drenched in the 90s.
I'm on the last episode, man. I'm nearly done.
Yeah, I watched the last episode in... When did that show go off the air? Because I watched
2003.
it. Oh.
The only time I ever watched it was 1 or 2 episodes here and there growing up, but I never actually actively watched it.
Well, I watched a lot of TV in the 90s, and it aired 5 episodes a day, 5 days a week, throughout most of the latter half of the 90s, so...
Yeah.
So we have become very bad at this discussing order of things prior to starting the show. What do we want to talk about first?
Christmas Story, because me and you hate that, Travis.
We want to talk about that first. Okay. All right. I know RJ likes this movie. I do know this is a movie that can be liked. Unlike a lot of the other movies I had in this podcast where I will hate you for liking the movie because the movie sucks. This movie, I understand it can be liked. There is something to like about it. One of my favorite movie critic knowledgeable guys is Movie Bob. Check him out on YouTube. He has a show called Really That Good, where he spends 45 minutes to an hour talking about why a movie is actually deserving of all the praise it has. He's done things like the original Christopher Reeve Superman, and why 40 years later? God, that was in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 70.
We're pushing 40 years on that movie.
Once it came out, 75, 78. I would say it's the later half of the 70s.
Yeah, definitely the latter half of the 70s, but we're in the latter half of the 2010s, so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We're pushing 40 years on that. But, he goes into, was it nostalgia, or is it actually a movie?
Apparently, Wesley's work is living inside of a...
dog pound. Yes.
No, if your parents put you into a dog kennel.
The computer's in here, too. That's the funny part.
Yes. But, so, Movie Bob does Really That Good, and he did a Really That Good on A Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. I can see where a lot of his points come from. I can see where other people can like this movie. Personally, I can't stand the bitch. It is by nowhere, it is no means as bad as, Batman v Superman. It is nowhere near as bad as, Suicide Squad.
We really need to stop bringing up those two. It's...
As soon as the next bad movie comes out.
No, you're just gonna add that movie to the list.
Oh, probably. Okay.
Oh, you've got Fantastic Four.
Wonder Woman.
God.
I try to forget Fantastic Four exists. Thank you very much.
Wait, what
just
exists?
all of them.
Wait, what exists?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But no. This movie, I actually have a greater physical reaction of hatred to A Christmas Story than I do these. That comes from the fact that, of course, for like 30 years now, or however the fuck long it's been, ever since Ted Turner realized he could get the rights, TNT does like 24-hour marathons. They've actually backed off from what it used to be. Mm-hmm. It used to be like every day from like 7 a.m. through 5 p.m. from like Thanksgiving through Christmas. The only thing on TNT was A Christmas Story. It was like that movie was on the fucking network like 6 times a day, every day for a month.
I'd hate it so much.
I still need to Christmas Day, I think.
I think they do it on Thanksgiving Day still, too.
Okay, I don't know.
I think they do it twice a year. I think they do Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day.
All I remember is that when I was working at the Verizon Wireless call center nearby here, that Christmas morning when I was working there, helping people get their stupid teenagers' phones activated. Because, I just had to get Beckett a new iPhone. Oh, fuck you, whatever. I don't care about your daughter. They just had it constantly playing nonstop on the TV. We have these big TVs and all over the call center that will like display like our call stats and everything for the entire center, and like what our queues look like and everything. And then they moved those stats to like this border frame, and then in the middle they just had this they had
Christmas Story playing.
Yeah, Christmas Story playing nonstop. And
at
first, I'm like there bleary-eyed at like 8 in the morning. It's like, oh hey, this is cool. I got
8 hours later on its 4th playthrough. You're like, Jesus Christ, would you go away?
Yeah, I know.
But no, I would go over to a relative's house basically every Thanksgiving.
All right.
And it was on the TV all day. And I'd go over to my relative's house, and I don't know what it was like for you people. You know, you go to your cousin, or, you know, you go to your aunt and uncle's house, and your cousins are there. You know, you'd go play something. You know, you'd check out their new games or whatever. I know some families do, like, an early Christmas gift, you know, because they don't get together on Christmas for the family. They get together on Thanksgiving, and they don't see their extended family on Christmas or whatever, so they'll do, like, a Christmas gift exchange at Thanksgiving, you know, shit like that. No, we sat around watching A Christmas Story.
God.
My cousins literally go, no, I love this movie. I don't want to play. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I would love to play a board game. Or no, I got to watch this movie. But an hour ago, we saw this same, because it's still playing again and again. I mean, we've seen this. This is the 3rd time this is played today. You're still watching it. Can we do something else? Literally.
Your cousins probably had the same thing I did, because when I was younger, because I have ADHD.
They were older than me.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing. Well, then fine. But I know for me personally, when I was a younger kid, because my ADHD was so bad, even with like Ritalin and Adderall and shit, that if I could find something that could keep my attention for more than 5 minutes at a time, I would glue myself to it.
At 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the fact that, oh my god, my brain is actually able to like focus on this and not like be all over the place. So I mean that's. I mean, I don't know if your cousins had that same mentality, but I mean it is possible.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I was kind of the same way growing up too because of my ADD.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Remember, I was like, I had ADHD, which is like.
Oh, that is worse. I do.
Like, yeah. Oh my
sympathies go out to you.
Yeah. Luckily, getting older and like my, going through puberty and everything definitely helped a lot. So I don't have to like take Ritalin or anything anymore. But still.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the first time I saw this movie, I was like 8. And as an 8-year-old, this is not... That's the pizza. As an 8-year-old, this is not a super good movie, at least for me. Because it's really kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that on purpose, from what I understand. Like, they were going for this, very realistic, suburban kind of like 50s.
See, I think that's what I love about it so much, because it's I mean, granted, it takes place in a decade that is far before my time, but still, you can kind of relate to it in a way, because it's that based in reality.
Yeah, my issue with it is, if I wanted to pay attention to people doing the kinds of things that they were doing in this film, I would have turned away from the TV and paid attention to the family that was in the room with me.
You know, I first saw this movie when I was a teenager, back when my dad was going through the cancer treatments and everything. So that's why I latched onto this movie so hard back then, even now, is because, granted, the family wasn't perfect by any means, but it was a more idealized picture of an American family, and the shitty time I was going through right there, so it was like a nice little fantasy to escape into, like, oh yeah, I could totally see myself being Ralphie, especially with the whole Decoder ring debacle. That would totally be me. I would be like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I like, that is the Decoder ring thing. That's a scene I was like, yeah, I could see a fucking company doing something like that. It's a giant fucking dick move, but I could see a company doing that.
Yeah, well, the thing is that with all the freaking shit, like, my experience with, like, all the stupid shit I've bought over the years and put effort towards over the years, a decoder ring definitely seems like something I would have done at that age. I would have gone through all this to get, like, all these box tops and shit saved up, send them into the company, get it back, beg my mom for, like, the $3.50 or whatever it was for the postage and handling.
Yep.
Get it in, and finally start playing with it and realize it's just a cheap piece of shit that's a cruddy commercial.
To be fair, I actually had that happen, except I didn't have to send out for it. That was back in the days when they send something like that in a cereal box.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
But yeah, I think the most annoying thing about this movie for me, other than just the fact that I think about it and I literally want to punch something because I hate this movie that much, the narrator just annoys me so fucking much. Is it just me, or did he, like, eat a thesaurus and he is just regurgitating words out of a fucking thesaurus?
I love the narrator. What are you talking about, dude?
Oh my gosh, the narrator in this film. I by the end was like, hey, could you just shut up once? Just once.
No, see, I like the narrator because he kind of added that 20/20 hindsight to a bunch of stuff, and then
I have nothing wrong with the message he was conveying. My entire issue is the manner in which he conveyed it. Rather than just doing the nice, straightforward way, he had to convey it as if he ate a fucking thesaurus, and he had to use all the $5 words to fucking convey it.
I kind of liked that because it was just like, it kind of grounded you back into the fact that, hey, this is an older person telling us a story about his childhood.
Except it sounded like a child, the way a child would say it. Throwing in all the big words, trying to sound older and more sophisticated.
Okay, I'll give you that.
But it wasn't being told from a child's perspective, or from a child's being told from like a 40-year-old.
Maybe it was
looking back on life.
Maybe he was telling the story to his grandkids or something.
You know,
I did it to where they could kind of follow him.
Yeah, it's just the way the dialogue he's like, the message he's getting across.
Look,
I'm fine with.
Can we all at least agree that this movie isn't as bad as its sequel?
I never saw the sequel.
I saw the sequel. Don't watch the sequel. The sequel will make you hurt yourself.
I've heard the sequel is god-awful, terrible, horrible. Will make you put a knife to your own throat. But
I wouldn't put a knife through my throat, maybe my temple.
Yeah, no, from what I understand, the sequel is just horrible.
Well, technically there was like 2 sequels, I think, because wasn't there like another thing called like My Summer Story or something like that?
Maybe,
let's just pretend that there was only this one movie.
I remember.
Okay. I don't remember. I loathe this film.
He said so much. Like there's 2 this movie has 2 sequels that are both not even worth mentioning or something like that. But I'm like, no, fuck that. We need to warn people about these damn things.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that's what we can do next year. Christmas Story 2.
No. Fuck you. No.
But yeah, other things. Was that a new snowsuit that what's the little brother's name? Randy.
I can't remember the little kid's name.
Is it Randy West?
Fuck if I know.
Okay, I think it's Randy.
Careful there, Wesley. You kind of roboted it on us.
You guys are doing that.
Your call quality kind of. Yeah, you might be having some internet troubles over there.
No, I think we're having internet troubles here.
Or, well, yeah, we're more rural than where he's at, so.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the Wi-Fi.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, because he ran the,
Yeah, next week. Yep,
Yeah.
this will be wired next week, so we don't have to worry about the Wi-Fi anymore.
Yeah, well, if you're doing that sometime before Thursday, I can help you.
Possibly Sunday after the podcast.
I have to go to work Sunday. I work Sunday night, so.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway,
Right.
but yeah, so whatever the little kid brother's name is, they do the whole joke, I guess you'd call it, with him getting put in the snowsuit.
I love that. What are you...
Is that the first time the mother has ever put him in that snowsuit? One would think by this point in time she would have realized, like the whole arms putting down thing.
The whole joke about that is that she's being overprotective of her sweet, precious little boy.
But no, the putting the arms down thing.
Yeah.
Like, if this is how...
I can't move my arms!
Either this is literally the first time they've used that snowsuit, so this is the first time that's happened, and this is new information to them, or they're all dumb. Oh, this is the 50th time this has happened. And the little kid crying about it, I could see, because little kids will fucking cry about something for 50 times in a row.
I'm gonna, when I was about that little, my mom would bundle me up like that. Like,
no, I understand the bundling, but why is it the mom did the whole push the arms down thing if this is a thing that happens all the damn time? Shouldn't she have looked at him and went, yeah, we know. This has been happening every day all winter. Get over it.
She's probably just so numb to it by this point. She's just like, yeah, whatever, go on. She's just like, quiet.
But she didn't. She did the whole try and push his arms down thing.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
As if she was surprised that he couldn't put his arms
Maybe
down.
Maybe it was brand new.
But yeah, that's the thing, is there's...
But I loved that joke. That was funny. I love that joke. That was funny.
But because the movie is not trying to be a comedy...
Oh, I know.
And then it keeps putting in scenes like that are clearly only in it for comedic effect. And it is so blatantly obvious that it just annoys me. Because you're like, this is not supposed to be a straight up frickin', this is not National Lampoon.
Right.
Which we'll talk about later. They are not putting in jokes that don't make any sense just because they're funny. So I especially considering some of the other jokes that are in this were more organically integrated. Anything that is not organically integrated, anything that basically has a sign saying...
I think the most organically integrated jokes are probably the ones involving Ralphie's fantasies about what that aren't like about what's going to happen, like especially when he writes his like little paper or whatever.
Yeah, I have whole other reasons for hating the fantasies, but especially the first one. The first one pisses me off the most.
I think it's just because I think those are funny as hell, just because of the fact that it's like just a perfect representation of what goes on in a kid's mind.
Well, the first one would never have gone in a kid's mind because that was like Benny Hill meets Western.
Wait, which one was the first one?
The bad guys showing up at the house.
Oh yeah,
where all the bad guys moved like they were at a fucking Benny Hill sketch.
And the kid thought he was the Lone Ranger or something.
Like the Western thing is the kind of thing a kid would have. The Benny Hill thing though.
I don't remember that part.
Do you know who Benny Hill is?
Yeah, I know who Benny Hill is.
With the underwound. Yeah, all the bad guys moved like they were out of a fucking Benny Hill sketch.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I remember what you're talking about.
And it's just like, Jesus, there's no way in fuck a kid is fantasizing about Benny Hill. Because there's no way in fuck a child is watching Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Mostly because Benny Hill, if your parents let you watch Benny Hill, what the fuck? Most of the time...
I don't think they had a television, though. That's the thing.
No, they had a radio.
It's supposed to be set back in, like, radio time, so Benny Hill wouldn't have even been a thing.
I think it was supposed to be set in, like, the 50s when TVs weren't really ubiquitous yet.
No, because that's why he sat down and listened to the radio program all the time.
Oh, God.
But no, so Benny Hill wouldn't have even been a thing, so, that especially annoyed me. And then the later ones, that was less of an overactive imagination and more full-blown delusions. They should go to a fucking therapist to have him helped for. Anybody who stands in front of the teacher's desk thinking about how much praise they're going to get until the teacher goes, hey, go sit your ass in your chair. No, really. Hello, pay attention to me. I'm the teacher. Sit your ass in the chair. I'm sorry. Like, if that happened at his desk and he stopped paying attention during a lesson, okay, fine. But when you are literally handing in your homework assignment and that happens, no, that's a full-blown fucking delusion. You have mental issues you should have checked out by a qualified therapist.
Oh my gosh. Maybe that's why he's why the narrator's talking like a thesaurus. He became a serial killer.
Well, I'm pretty sure anybody who watched the sequel to this movie became a serial killer, so...
Very quickly. Gosh, oh. Yeah. This was this movie was... It's not Grandma got run over by a reindeer bad, but it's bad. It's bad.
Which movie of Grandma got run over by the reindeer?
The animated one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah.
The one they show on Cartoon Network every year because...
I like to pretend that one doesn't exist.
I stopped watching Cartoon Network when they stopped showing awesome shows.
So...
Yeah, like your Titans.
No, I stopped before then, too.
Yeah.
No, basically the only Cartoon Network shows that I watched were when they were showing, like, Yogi Bear...
Oh, okay. When they had like all
old Hanna-Barbera. Yep, old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Before those all moved over to Boomerang. And then I only watched Cartoon Network during Toonami.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you check out my pizza?
When I told you, when I mentioned it earlier, it was done. I heard it ding.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you did go down there? Okay, I didn't see you. Wasn't paying attention.
I didn't get up.
Oh.
It's done. It's in the toaster oven. The toaster oven turns itself off.
Oh, thank God. I'm like sitting here going, oh shit, that thing's probably fucking burning.
It might be a little dark because it doesn't cool itself off right away.
And I was sitting here thinking, oh fuck, that thing's probably burning. I'm just sitting here thinking it's in like the goddamn oven or some shit. Wow. Oh, that's how much together I have it today, Wesley.
Oh gosh. Long day, I'm assuming?
Long night last night, and then I have today off, so...
Okay. There's a silver lining in every...
But I'm dealing with a sick 4-year-old at home, so...
I was about to say there's a silver lining in every mushroom cloud. Gosh, I gotta stop listening to Owl City.
Alright, anyways... Well, no, while he's down there taking care of that shit, yeah, I don't know. I love this movie. Like, there's like some sort of childlike naivete going on it that I kind of like. It kind of brings me back to, it makes me nostalgic for like a more innocent time back when I didn't have like to worry about as much bullshit as I do now.
Yeah, I can definitely see where that is a thing. It's just speaking from personally watching it and you know, all that. I've been watching this movie since I was, I want to say 8 and in 5th grade. Sounds right.
Right.
Or wait. How would I be 8 in 5th grade?
I don't know.
No, what I mean is...
Did he get louder?
Maybe?
He sounds like he's louder.
I got dumber, let's go with that. No.
I think it's physically possible for it to get any dumber. Well, there you go.
No, I've been watching this movie since I was in 5th grade, and even back then, I was sleeping in class, because the teacher showed the whole class this movie. I was sleeping through it, because this movie's boring and dull, and I get that they're trying to capture the realism of the household or whatever. There's certain times where that's okay, but there's certain times where you should just stop, reconsider what you're doing, and maybe attack it at a different angle.
Yeah. Although, you know, my favorite part of that, two of my favorite parts of this whole movie kind of both revolve around the dad. One is when they get the major award. That fucking lamp.
A leg-shaped lamp. I'm surprised it stayed up as long as it did, actually.
I'm actually confused by a lot of things involving the lamp. The dad's reaction to it I understood, but like, A, why is that lamp shipped in a crate easily 8 times its size? Like, literally, you could have fit a full-grown person in that crate and shipped them. Not just the leg.
Right. All the packing material to keep it safe and transport?
But why would you need that much packing material? Put it in a smaller crate. You don't need as much packing material. But yeah, so I don't understand. I don't know how common I didn't think even back in like the 50s shipping things in massive wooden crates was still a regular thing. And then it clearly says this end up. They take the dolly out, it's this end up, and then rather than just walking away, the delivery crew actually does more work to potentially ruin whatever was inside by laying it down when they weren't supposed to, because this end up fragile. I mean,
Fragile, it must be French.
Italian.
Oh, Italian, right? Thank you for the correction.
But yeah, then the lamp is plastic. They call it plastic. They say it's plastic. How did it break so easily just getting knocked off a table?
I don't know. Maybe it was really crappy plastic?
That looks like a lot like clay or ceramic.
Yeah.
No, they clearly call it a plastic leg.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just love that thing.
I did one part with the leg lamp where the dad annoyed me. When the mom hates it so much that she goes inside and turns it off and comes back outside, and he, gives her that what the fuck kind of gesture, and she says, "Oh, we're conserving electricity." And he just kind of accepts it and walks away. Literally every other light in the house is on. What? Why did he accept that and walk away?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you, dude. But man, the other thing with the dad that I liked though was when Ralphie's trying to help him with the car and he drops the F-bomb.
Yep.
It's just like,
Fudge.
Yeah.
Except I didn't say fudge.
Yep. That part, because it's like the reaction from the parents is like, yep, those are my parents growing up.
The reaction from the mom I didn't understand. She acted like somehow the third apocalypse had just happened or something.
You've opened the fourth seal to the apocalypse. Someone call the Winchesters.
But yeah, her reaction was a little much, I thought.
If you grew up with my mom, you would have seen that as a very tame reaction.
But did your dad swear as much in front of you as his dad clearly did?
Sometimes. Maybe not all the time, but there's been times where, like, when my dad and me were by ourselves, and he was, like, working on something, like, highly technical or some shit like that.
So then your mom wasn't around. Yeah. Like, this happens in front of the mom in the movie.
And she's surprised. Yeah, I know. That part's a little ridiculous.
I mean, being angry about it, I could still understand, right? But being shocked as if, like, oh my god, how did this ever happen?
Oh, yeah, and the fact that she buys it from her son, that he learned it from his friend.
And then, my least favorite part of this movie, that actually is my least favorite part as of my rewatching it for this podcast, because I didn't even notice it before. The part where they put in implied child abuse as a joke, because the mom goes and picks up the phone to call the mom from his friend.
Here's the thing, though. The way that part was shot, I don't think it was intended to be seen as a joke, the way they filmed it.
I don't know how else that was supposed to be, because Jesus, man, that clearly implied that the friend's mother walked off, beat the living hell out of her kid.
No. It clearly implied it, but I think you're seeing it. I think you're seeing it as they were trying to go for a joke. Where I see it as they were trying to see, Ralphie just fucked up and then got his friend in trouble, and now his friend. It's sort of like showing the consequences of lying or something like that. I think.
Right. To do that in a much less terrible manner, have the mom shouting. Admittedly, that's still, borderline some emotional abuse shit, but that's still way better than the clearly implied physical abuse of hearing her haul off, shout like one word, what clearly sounds like some punching, spanking, something going on. To be fair, I think the sound technician did just take the little punch sounds off his soundboard because he didn't have any spanking noises. He's like, close enough. Nobody will tell the difference.
Well, no.
And it's the kid going, what'd I do? Bam! I mean, I literally saw that, and I am just picturing this kid. His mom just hauls off and starts like wailing on him with her fists. And when he gets cut off in the middle of crying, it's because she decked him in the jaw and he couldn't talk anymore. And I was just like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, I know. That's...
Well, even I was sitting there, and I'm like, hey, that's a dead kid and a lawsuit.
I mean, I know it was the 50s and shit, but can we have a little bit of rose-colored glasses?
Just a little bit.
Just a bit. I don't want to remember those memories.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Let's see here. Did I write the brother's name on here? I did not.
What about Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Some other things I was confused by. When the one kid got his tongue stuck to the pole. Why the fuck did every kid in class lie and say, we don't know where he's at? And there had to have been at least one kid in that class who is like, yeah, the kid with his tongue stuck is a douchebag, and I'm going to laugh about it.
Kids
and I don't care.
Shits.
Yeah, and I don't care if the teacher knows that I think it's hilarious that his tongue is stuck. Because, let's face it, none of the other kids in class were going to get in trouble except for maybe the other kid who triple dog dared him, right? That would be the only kid who might be getting in trouble. Every other kid, if I was that age, I would not have been like, oh, I'd better keep quiet, I'm going to get in trouble. I would have been like, hey, teacher, he's outside with his tongue stuck to a pole like a jackass. In fact, you know how I know that? I did that in school. I was actually one of my classmates did get his tongue stuck to a pole.
His brother's name was Randy.
It is Randy.
I never got my tongue stuck to a pole, but I did get stuck to a metal spoon once. I can't remember how it happened. I want to say it was like we had like a wet spoon, and like we were trying to get some ice cream out of a bucket with it, and then I went to lick the cream off, and then like the spoon had somehow gotten so cold that like my tongue stuck to it.
Sure.
Actually, my brother got his tongue stuck to a bike rack 3 times.
Your brother's an idiot.
Yeah, the first time...
Shame on you.
All right, fine. You know, kids will do dumb things. By the third time, you might as well have left him stuck there. It's called survival of the fittest for a reason.
Right.
Your brother doesn't make the cut.
Well, no, it was funny. Actually, we left him there. Because all 3 times... It was like right before school. We just left him there all 3 times.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a reason he moved in with his dad.
Outside of the very end of the movie, I don't understand the dogs.
I never understood the dogs either.
Like, basically, they were introduced so that it didn't seem out of place when they ruined Christmas dinner.
I think that's pretty much it.
But, like, Jesus, really? These people live next door to these crazy people with all these fucking dogs that just run rampant all over the fucking place? Nobody's called animal control? The cops? Fuck, it was the 50s. None of them, or the dad didn't hand the BB gun to Ralphie and go, hey, take pot shots at the neighbor's fucking dogs, why don't you?
Open season on Fido!
I don't know what kind of neighborhoods you people grew up in, but that sort of shit wouldn't fly in my neighborhood. Yeah. My parents were not going to hand me a gun and tell me to shoot the fucking dog, but they would have called animal control or the cops or
anything.
In fact, over the years, I think there were 4 dogs put down in my neighborhood because they got loose and attacked the neighborhood kids.
Oh, lovely.
And, you know, cops got called and the dogs got put down because they had attacked kids. So that's like law in Michigan and a lot of other places. But yeah, who the fuck would put up with that shit? I mean, really?
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene, though, towards the end of the movie is when Ralphie finally snaps on that bully.
Beats the fuck out of the bully.
Oh, yeah. I just love that.
There's one scene I actually wanted to call into question. Because it to this day, it still makes me wonder, how do you get away with this? The scene with Santa and Ralphie and the...
Oh, God.
Oh, and the stupid asshole elves?
Yes.
Dude, Santa was clearly on the sauce.
I'm pretty sure that was chalked up to it's the 50s, or whatever time period it was set in.
So the 50s gave us justification to crush little kids' dreams through popular holiday icons.
One shot of him getting picked up on that Santa's lap, though, and it's just like Jesus Christ, Santa, take a Tic Tac or something. God.
Yeah.
I can smell the cream de menthe on your mouth. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I have a note on here sometime when I was watching the movie. I wrote, does everyone have single-digit IQs? Because everybody does so many stupid things in this movie.
Right?
Oh, gosh. It's bad, man. This movie is...
I think a scene that I almost always enjoy, if this happens to be playing, because outside of this podcast, I've never intentionally watched this movie. I have seen it all the way through before, but it was always because that's all there was to do while at my cousin's, or, you know, even when I was older, I've been at friends' houses who, when it's on for 24 hours on TNT, they'll fucking put it on and play it. They don't sit there and watch it like my cousins did.
It's just like
we'll like play cards or something. Yeah, it's like the TV is playing it in the background while we're talking and playing cards, and you know, my cousins would just be like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm watching this movie." But you saw this part 2 hours ago. Shut the fuck up! I'm watching this movie. Mom, can we go home? No, go play with your cousins. I'm gonna go play in the junkyard next door, Mom. I fucking care. I get the hell out of this house. Just have a tetanus shot ready when I get back. So one scene that about the only scene that won't make me just get up and murder somebody. After the dogs ruin Christmas dinner, the dad, who you fully expect to just blow up and get pissed, stays calm, tells everybody to fucking get their clothes on, and takes them all out to Chinese food just so they can have a decent Thanksgiving dinner. And that is like the only actual positively emotional thing I ever get from this movie. Is like, that is the first time any of the characters in the film does a thing that makes me go, yeah, okay, these are real people, and they're, you know, nice people, and okay.
And that's the first time you ever see the dad actually not be a total dickwad.
Exactly. And, you know, and then, of course, they go and mar the scene with the, we'll go with mildly racist overtones of the Chinese choir there. Mildly might not be strong enough for that scene, but...
That part racist, surprisingly. Of course, then again, I'm white, so what do I know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when you've got a bunch of Chinese people, and you're making fun of them because of their inability to correctly pronounce English songs.
See, it didn't feel like they were making fun of them to me. It felt like they were genuinely trying to entertain their guests at the restaurant.
The Chinese people were.
Yeah.
But, much like Metal Gear Solid 5, the writer of the script put the Chinese people in that position. Chinese people did not put themselves in that position.
I'm just saying.
No, much like with Quiet and Hideo Kojima's, she breathes through her skin. It's okay that she's mostly naked. Yeah, but you're the guy who wrote this. If there was actually a woman who breathed through her skin and that's the way she had to dress or she died, it would be acceptable. You, as the writer who made that shit up to try and justify a mostly naked woman in your video game, I'm sorry, that's still sexist. It's not in-game world sexist, but it is in real world sexist. Yeah. It was not in movie world racist.
Right, but here's the thing. I don't think it was when he wrote it, I don't think it was intended to be racist either.
Oh, it's not written to be racist, but a lot of stuff is not intended to be racist. All of these super racist shit in the 1940s Bugs Bunny cartoons, also not intended to be racist. That was casual racism because that's just the way everybody behaved at the time. Still racist, though.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not calling for the movie to change it.
I'm just saying, like,
no, it's part of the movie,
I'm gonna
and
respectfully disagree with you on that, though.
But yeah, it definitely feels casually racist. I mean, not deliberate. They're not like going out of their way to make fun of Chinese people or anything.
Like I said, I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you. But then again, like I said, what do I know? I'm white.
Yeah. So, but yeah, outside of the mild racism there, that's a really genuinely touching scene, and it's, yeah, no, it's about the only part of the movie that doesn't make me want to frickin' punch the television set.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, that's basically my feelings on it too.
Yeah, I typically fall asleep during this film. If I'm not doing something else to keep myself occupied. And yeah, I hate how anytime, like, even the friends I have where we're just sitting around, it's playing in the background, they'll like stop what they're doing to like watch the scene where Ralphie almost shoots his eye out, and it's just like, really? That's not all that entertaining of a scene. It's also not terribly the way physics works.
Well, see, I think what happened was because he had the target on one of those metal signs. I think it just like it bounced off back at him.
Yeah, but considering the range he was at,
I know.
And I mean, okay, maybe BBs were made out of slightly sturdier stuff, but I have taken a BB gun, pumped it up as much as I can without blowing the O-rings in it.
I was say I think BBs used to be made out of like lead or some shit.
Oh no, lead would not have ricocheted. Lead would have hit that piece of metal, deformed, and dropped to the ground.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right, because it's soft metal. I forgot.
Yeah, copper, and you can still get solid copper BBs.
That's what they sell them as over at Walmart.
Yeah, copper, maybe, but even then, you're most likely going to get deformity and not a straight bounce back to the gun wielder. At least not at that range. Because it's not like he was 3 feet from the fucking target or something.
Right.
And then to hit the target, bounce back as far as it did, and
crack his
glasses like that. I mean, okay, admittedly, they weren't using polycarbonate lenses back then. But still, it's entirely possible that just BB guns back then were like super duper powerful, like bank robber
they
powerful.
Probably were, because back then, like, dude, you gotta remember, this is like back in the day when they had like this like. There used to be this freaking toy. I think it was. Oh, excuse me. There was a toy from I want to say it was from the 50s, where it was shaped like a ray gun, and you would put these little balls into the barrel, and then there was this chamber where you would put these crystals in, and then you would mix it with water, and then it was like I think they were like some sort of alkali crystals. Some sort of form of sodium crystals, and when the water reacted with it, it would make a mini explosion in the chamber and pop the ball out with a loud pop. Like, they had super dangerous toys back then.
Yeah, but I'm still just, you would need a super powerful BB gun to do that. I mean, okay, it's probably theoretically possible, like 1 in a million type thing that could ricochet, but
yeah.
I think back to like the Mythbusters episode where they were doing bullet ricochets with actual guns.
Right.
And yeah, they couldn't fucking get bullets.
It's too
actual
bad that,
bullets.
it's too bad that Mythbusters is gone, because I would have loved to have seen them do some tests on.
Well, we've got Tori.
Oh yeah, that's right. They got that
the build team's coming to Netflix, and because they're on Netflix, Netflix is probably less worried about offending certain people than broadcast television was, or cable television was. Because I always got the impression during some of the sequences, like when they were trying to fool lie detectors and stuff, that they fudged the results because
They didn't want to piss off law enforcement.
Because Discovery didn't want to piss off law enforcement.
Even though lie detectors aren't admissible in court at all.
Yeah, they're not admissible in court at all because it's already known that they are not effective. But no, I still felt that rather than... I mean, I'm not saying they took a completely false result and dressed it up as a positive result. But I'm pretty sure that was like a gray area and they pushed it over into positive. Because I know that episode was not, lie detectors are kind of working. It was, nope, they work perfectly well all the time.
Just give us our check and let us be.
And the same thing especially went with the drunk driving episode. Yeah, that one, they didn't fudge any results. They read you the numbers. But I remember, who was it? Tori, I think? Mm-hmm. His drunk driving record was better than one of the other people's sober driving record. It was worse than Tori's sober driving record, which did prove that the alcohol did make his driving worse. But his inebriated driving was actually better than somebody else's sober driving, which, if you're looking at just the raw numbers, actually kind of proves that there's no reason Tori shouldn't be allowed to drive at that level of alcohol, because he's better at that level of alcohol than somebody who's completely sober and is legally allowed to drive. I understand why the government doesn't do that.
Right.
Because what are you going to do? Force everyone to get drunk, take a road test, and alright, you passed at a .08, you're legally allowed to drive at a .08, but you failed at a 1.0, so if you're at a 1.0, you're done. It's going to be written on your driver's license, and when the cop takes your license out, and, I mean, and how would that work? You have to, re-up that alcohol test every couple of years? I mean...
Yeah, take into account failing livers.
Yeah, it's just, and let's face it, although it is illegal to drive while inebriated, if you drive well enough while inebriated, you're unlikely to get pulled over because the cop doesn't have some, 100-yard alcohol detector or something. It's not like you drive by and he points a gun at you and goes, .08, I'd better pull him over. You have to be swerving or something,
Yep.
So,
yeah, you have to give him justifiable cause to pull you over, and then he smells the refinery the distillery going on in your car, and it's like...
But yeah, so what the hell were we talking about?
Christmas Story stuff.
Yeah, Christmas Story! Wow, we took a detour there.
We were talking about bullet ricochets with BB guns.
Yes! Okay.
Let's move on from that so we don't get sidetracked again.
Yeah, okay. So bullet ricochet didn't really make a lot of friggin' sense. Let's see here.
Oh, we might want to wrap this segment up quick because it's nearly 4.
It is nearly 4. Alright, so bottom line, A Christmas Story. There are things to like about it. There are people who like it. I'm not going to fault you for liking it, but I hate it. God, I hate this movie. If I never see it again, I will die very much happier than if I had seen it again.
If you never see this movie again, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, this is not a movie I ever want to see again. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
I love this movie. I love it's kind of like I said, it's more of a nostalgia thing for me because I remember watching this growing up, and stuff to that, and then also, when I was younger, when I was watching this, it kind of gave me a nice little escapist reality to get into because I didn't have to, I could forget about all the bullshit that was going on with my family at the time. And I could definitely see why some people won't like it. I could definitely see why some people will like it. Personally, this is, I can't wait to show this to my kid at some point when she's old enough to actually, sit there and actually pay attention to it, not oh, hey, look, there's a toy over here now. So, yeah.
Bottom line for me, it's not the worst Christmas movie ever. It's not the best Christmas movie ever. I definitely watch 100 other Christmas movies before this one, but it's...
I'm going to have you list those after this podcast. I'm curious.
He's going to give you homework.
Let me just pull up the Hallmark website. But no, it's...
You say Christmas shoes, I'm disowning you as a friend.
No.
Thank God.
No, it's just... It's not the best Christmas movie, and I'm personally not a fan of it. If you're a fan of it, that's cool. Be a fan of what you want to be a fan of, unless it's Batman v Superman. In which case, me, Travis, and everyone else to form a mob will have to come kill you.
I haven't seen Batman v Superman, so I'm safe for now.
For now.
Is it sad that every Christmas I watch all 3 Santa Claus movies?
No.
Wait, Tim Allen ones?
Yeah.
No. The sequels aren't really as good as the first
Well,
one.
the first
No,
one's
they're not.
amazing. The second one's The third
Guilty
one's
pleasure.
is, why are we still doing this?
It's just one of those things. I just every Christmas I'm like, you know what? Let's watch Tim Allen be
Didn't
Santa
they make a
Claus for a while.
fourth one?
I heard they were. I don't know if they actually did.
Google, here I go. Let's talk
What was
about
the third one? Was the third one where we needed to get
The third one had Jack Frost, as played by Martin Short.
Oh, maybe there was only 3 then, because the second one was like the
Um,
Mrs. Claus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, no, I think there was only 3 then, because I thought the fourth one was the one with the where he had to find a wife type of deal.
No. The second one's the one where he found a wife. Actually, that one would have been better if they didn't feel the need to throw in that whole toy Santa taking over the North Pole.
Oh, that
Without the stuff with Tim Allen trying to date and that, if they had taken the fucking bullshit away from the North Pole and just focused on Tim Allen trying to find a wife, the second one probably would have been a decent movie. But no, they had to show...
I'm just remembering that one god-awful moment from that second movie where it's like, there isn't a lady out there that doesn't want a piece of this. And he's in his fat suit. He's in his fat Santa suit still. It's just like, oh, God.
But yeah.
There are 3 movies.
Okay, I thought there was a fourth one. That's my bad.
Yeah, I had heard they were looking to make a fourth one. I don't remember when I heard that.
I think it was right after the third one they were having talks about it.
But yeah, I didn't think it went through, but...
Here's the thing, though. Those 3 movies aren't nearly as bad as Christmas with the Cranks.
True. Did you know Christmas with the Cranks is based off of crap, who wrote that book? The same guy who wrote The Fugitive.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was a book called, or a short story? I don't know if it was a short story or a whole book, but it was somewhere in that range. It's definitely on the short end of book. Maybe novella size, I don't remember. But it's called Skipping Christmas. The book's actually pretty good.
John Grisham.
John Grisham, that's that guy's name.
Yes, I love him for his books like The
Fugitive.
Well, no, he did The Fugitive. Then he did a bunch of
He's done a lot of books, yeah.
A bunch of other lawyer type books that I just love to death.
Yeah, almost all of his books are about the law in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
How much would I bet he read those books, thought he'd be smart enough to become a lawyer?
I thought he was a lawyer first, but...
No, I'm talking about Wesley.
Oh, Wesley! Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking Wesley thinking he'd be smart enough to become a lawyer.
No,
Yeah, Wesley probably read those books. He's like, I can become a lawyer. And hell, at the end of The Fugitive, I can move down to the Caribbean.
No, my plan was to move to Italy. And, shit, no wait, I skipped the whole plot of that book. Never mind.
Wow, you're a sad individual.
I am.
So, Wes, you got any music topic to talk about this week?
Yes, I do.
What's your music topic?
Okay, so recently the new Tech 9 album came out, and,
Who are they?
Tech 9, he's the #1 independent rapper in the world. Makes sense why you haven't heard of him.
According to who?
According to most studies, a lot of internet
Studies? There's studies on this shit?
What? It's gibberish.
That was actually gibberish. No, he is the self-proclaimed #1 independent rapper in the world.
Self-proclaimed. See, there you go. He's full of himself.
There is a theoretical possibility that he's got, like, more album sales or something than other independent...
Yeah, but it's like on the same...
Although, then again, you know, are we allowed to call, like, Puffy independent since he owns his own fucking label. Does that count as independent?
Puffy?
P. Diddy?
Yeah, P. Diddy.
How many fucking goddamn names did that motherfucker go through?
Maybe Puff Daddy, I remember.
No. His recent album, The Storm, which is actually his...
Who are we talking about?
Tech Nine. It's
okay.
It's his 17th album.
17th album?
Yes.
Does he release them every 3 months?
Once a year, actually. He's been doing this since...
Heard about him since I heard about him like a while back when I was in high school.
Yeah. But no, he had a new album come out, and there's
like assy. I heard about him.
Since I pre-ordered the CD, I also got an extra disc with songs on it, and
Stop ordering things.
God damn, we are the house Total Biscuit. We do not pre-order.
yeah, you're gonna hate me when I move in, Travis. Then.
No, I'm gonna stab you.
No, we're gonna steal his credit cards.
No, here's what we do. Until he stops pre-ordering, when it shows up from the pre-order, we snap the disc in half, and he has to go re-buy it without it being a pre-order.
No, actually, Barry, I'll just steal it. I'll go pawn it off at Pawn America, get some money out of it.
No.
There you go.
So, anyways, on the second CD... Okay. On the second CD, there was 2 songs on there.
Internet hype culture. Internet hype culture means people can release bad shit knowing dumbasses like you are going to pre-order it. And they get all their money and they run.
Well, I've been pre-ordering the CDs for like 2 years now, and I've never been...
Otherwise known as 2 of them?
No.
I thought you said 1 a year.
I forgot to mention his Collabo series, so he does like 2 a year, actually, I should say. But anyways, no, so I...
And you know what? You never get burned until that time you get burned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ask anybody who plays with fire. Ask the Danger Committee. They will not tell you, oh no, I'm never going to get hit by a knife. They're like, yeah, I get hit by fucking knives all the time, and I'm very glad I can still do this, and I'm not like fucking hospitalized or something because of it.
Okay. But no, so,
But they aren't spending their money. I mean, okay, they are, but then they get more. You aren't getting money by pre-ordering this album, so just wait until it fucking comes out, make sure it's good, then buy it.
But I get a shirt with it.
Oh my god. And if you pre-order a video game, you get, like, all these guns and shit for Call of Duty, and... No, fuck that noise. Don't pre-order shit.
I don't pre-order games, I only pre-order...
Don't pre-order anything!
Gotcha. Okay, so... On his, okay, so since I pre-ordered, I got the deluxe edition, which meant that I got an extra CD with 23 songs.
I'm confused. Did you just bought the deluxe edition?
Yes?
Okay. So, you pre-ordered the deluxe edition.
Yes, I pre-ordered the deluxe edition. I got an extra CD with...
Which means you didn't get the deluxe edition because you pre-ordered. You got the deluxe edition because you pre-ordered the deluxe edition.
Yes.
Had you pre-ordered the regular edition, you would have only gotten the regular edition.
Okay. Alright, yeah.
I'm understanding this properly?
Yes.
Because you made it sound like the deluxe edition was a bonus because you pre-ordered.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, rephrasing. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition. And with the deluxe edition came a bonus CD of music from other artists on the label, such as JL, Mackenzie Nicole. I'm not here today to talk about those 2. I'm here today to talk about one specific artist, Darian Saffron. As said by the Strange Music...
Is he like $30 an ounce too?
$30?
That's a Spice joke, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No. Although now I'm just realizing his last name, goddamn. No, he is proclaimed by the Strange Music CEO to be the white child... The Strange Music CEO.
The what?
The label that releases Tech Nine's music.
Oh! So, the label who's trying to sell albums is saying that the people on the albums are super good.
But I also find this artist super good myself.
Okay. But what does the guy on the label CEO saying have to do with it then?
I just wanted to bring it up because it was something I watched yesterday.
Oh. Okay. I watched a commercial yesterday. Should I bring that up when talking about the product and talk about that as if it is somehow fact?
No, okay.
Because I saw a commercial for this thing. You just take it and you put it on your forehead, and like your headaches go away. And because the commercial said it, and therefore the CEO of the company said it, it must be true, according to Wesley.
Fucking head on.
Wesley facts, Babel. Wesley facts.
Okay. What the Strange Music CEO said, and to an extent what I believe too, Darian Saffron is the white child of Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. He makes phenomenal R&B music. He is honestly one of my favorite artists on the Strange Music label. Now, here's the thing I'm going to...
So, out of curiosity, would Michael Jackson's children have been white later in his life, or...
That's a good question. I'll have
Yeah,
to
he
do research.
some sort of things that made his skin start lightening up or something like that. Then he just went and bleached it because he didn't want to deal with all the spottiness or whatever.
Right, yeah, he got that,
Vitiligo.
I don't know what that was, but... Excuse you? No, that's not right.
No, it's actually called, like, Taglio or something like that. I remember because Nyla kind of got a similar condition with... You can't really tell with her.
You mean because she was pasty to start with?
No, if during the summer, like, you were to actually, like, see her, like, in, like, a swimsuit, or you would actually see, like, these, like, darker blotches of skin, like, on her stomach and stuff like that.
Yeah, seeing her in a swimsuit would involve me going somewhere that involves swimming, and I don't do that, so...
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so,
So you like this guy?
Yes.
Is there a reason for it?
Yes, he's an amazing R&B singer. I'm not today, though, I'm not going to talk about why he's an amazing artist. I'm going to talk about something else that involves...
This hasn't been your topic yet?
No, this is kind of the...
We literally spent 10 minutes getting to the topic?
Well, if you stopped interrupting me...
You stop saying stupid things that need correcting.
Anyways, Darian Saffron, in consideration of most other Strange Music fans, is one of the worst artists on the label because he is not what they consider Strange Music is. Strange Music, when it was originally founded, was based on more darker juggalo mixed with gangster rap, mixed with some popular mainstream rap. That was the whole initial idea for Strange Music.
So your topic is that music labels aren't allowed to grow.
No, my topic is that labels are allowed to grow and diversify. I'm saying that...
So you're not against this, even though it kind of sounded like you were.
No. I'm a huge fan of Darian Saffron. I have listened to him since he first appeared on a Stevie Stone track about 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, but the way you were talking, I thought you were complaining that he was on Strange Music's label, because that's not the kind of music Strange Music does, and...
No, I'm saying that the Strange Music fan base should stop hating on him, because they should realize Strange Music is diversifying to find an avenue that works for them.
Got it.
Yes, but he's an amazing artist. I suggest check him out. I suggest check out all of Strange Music because I have listened to all their artists, and minus Brother Lin Chung, they're all pretty good. So,
I have no idea what any of these people are.
Yeah, me either.
The Brother Lin Chung is what would happen if Juggalo music got to the extreme that we don't want it to go, which means it's all serial killer darkness.
Yeah, and also you keep calling it Juggalo music.
Horrorcore is what it's properly called.
You ever listen to ICP at all?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't ICP be the only Juggalo music?
I should say horrorcore in general, not just
Horrorcore?
Horrorcore.
There's a reason why I don't pay attention to this bullshit.
I'm so confused.
Exactly, that's the reason why.
I thought video games had absurd subgenres.
Yeah, but...
Music just takes it and runs with it. Look, we can be... See, he used a C minor instead of a C major. That means he's not My Pretty Pretty Princess music.
Jesus Christ, dude. You're trying to kill me?
Yes. That's been the whole plan all along.
Did you guys get to see what's going on because we don't have a camera?
I was taking a swig of my Arizona tea here right when he said that, and I just about damn near choked on it.
No, you kind of did choke on it.
Yeah, but as I was saying, Darren Saffron, make it artist and all that stuff. Let's go on to Final Fantasy VII.
Also, goes great in Mexican food.
Actually, before Final Fantasy, I wanted to do a little bit of a gaming news here.
Gaming news!
Something I found out recently is that actually, from what I understand, the current updates on the post is that it ended last night in EVE Online. One of their biggest battles, like in a long while, just took place this weekend. Where
I would say it's been like 8 or 9 months since the last time I heard about a massive battle over on EVE Online.
Over about 5,700 players in one null-sec sector. It was pretty much this. These two forces were fighting at it, and one of them had this super weapon thing called a Keepstar. I haven't played enough EVE Online to know it, but all I know is that it takes like months upon months to build one of these things. It has like a super weapon that's like capable of taking down capital class ships in one go. And so apparently what it did, it took place in about 3 separate battles from what I understand. The first one took down the shields. And then the second one took down the armor of this thing, and then the third and final battle is what it led to its final destruction. The totals of damage are still being tallied up right now, but it's possible that we could possibly be seeing a battle, at least of that was of about a 1 trillion ISK, which is the in-game currency, worth of ships being destroyed so far.
How much is that in real life money?
I don't know quite off the top of my head. I don't have the article in front of me because my phone's charging.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's quite a bit of money. It's a couple $1,000 at least. I want to say in real world money.
I think it's a couple $100,000.
Really?
I think so.
Well, if it's 1 trillion ISK, then yeah, you're probably right because the biggest battle the most expensive battle that ever took place, damn near cost about 11 trillion ISK.
Yeah, and that was up in the millions of dollars in real currency, if I remember right. Yeah, for anybody who's listening to this who doesn't play EVE, doesn't know anything about EVE, even if you don't play EVE, do a little bit of research on some of the obscene battles that have taken place in EVE.
Or heck, even the obscene scams that go on in that game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you hear people talking about, we go on a raid in World of Warcraft and we get like 24 people. Jesus, no. EVE, everything is on one server. And literally, you can put like 5,000 people in one sector. And the server has to time dilate to make sure that everything happens. So an action that would normally take like seconds might take minutes to actually occur.
Yeah, but actually in this current battle, from what I understood, it was like the dilation was set up to 10 or whatever, so that means something that took up about 10 seconds took 10 minutes.
Gosh.
No, it is insane how much time dilation can happen in this. But yeah, no, they get into these massive battles, especially because if you play in other MMOs, the guild equivalent is what they call corporations, which are all set up by the players, and
I'm gonna see if I can find some more information.
And yeah, you get corporations at war with each other, and they like pact with other corporations into these big multi-conglomerate things that are attacking each other, big alliances, and you will literally have thousands of people across days having a battle, losing ships that will six take 6 months of game time to build.
Yeah, this Tuskgarr takes at least 6 months, I think, to build.
And if you're listening to this and you've never heard of EVE, they went free to play for the first time in the game's existence, 2 months ago, last month?
Yep, November.
Yeah, sometime in November. It was just last month.
And actually, I've been playing it a little bit. My biggest problem with the free-to-play thing is that...
You are where you might not be getting picked up very well, right? Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
How can you hear him but not you?
I don't know. It's like I hear myself occasionally, but nothing too much.
My biggest problem with EVE Online's free-to-play system right now is the fact that you only have access up to the Tier 2 ships, which you can't really do a whole lot with. If they would open up to where you could do at least Tier 3, that would be, I think it would be a little bit better, because then when you get to Tier 4 and Tier 5, that's when you start getting to the capital class ships and stuff like that. But the Tier 2 ships are kind of bullshit. Hold on, I'm still looking at this. I'm pulling the article up right now. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I don't know what the enough about the game in their tiers of ships, but I do know that EVE currently has no intention, or CCP, the company that makes EVE, currently has no intention of
Yep. Pandemic Legion. Oh, we have an update. Pandemic Legion, Northern Coalition, and their allies successfully destroyed Circle of Two's Keep Star Citadel, bringing an end to the 7-hour fight and a weeks-long campaign. Apparently, they have a live stream recording of the battle from the actual CCP
nice
games. Actually, live stream the battle. Apparently, there's a kill report. Let's see, it only shows the base cost of the Keep Stars. Yeah. CCP has also confirmed that the battle has now broken the all-time record for players gathered in one system. 1 point rising over 5,700 pilots.
5,700 players in the same system.
Yeah. Holy shit. I could just... oh my god.
I could imagine being one of those players thinking, I'm gonna win.
My time scale on the time dilation was a bit wrong. It was actually set up to 10%, which means that it was every action that took 1 minute took 10 minutes.
Okay. But yeah, I know that CCP, their intention is to use the free-to-play less as a, here you get everything the regular player does, or a paid player does, but slower, like some do. It's less, here you get most things a regular player does, but they get some better equipment. CCP is basically running the free-to-play as, here, play the game, enjoy it, and if you really enjoy it, become a subscriber. So it's basically an extended free tutorial, is what they're using it for. I'm
actually thinking about getting,
yeah, because a lot of people, CCP said in an interview that they feel a lot of people would like the game, but it is so daunting a task to get into it that nobody's willing to put down the $15 a month to get into it. So they made it free to play in the hopes that people, in spite of it being daunting, will go play for free, find out how much they enjoy it, and once they've learned the systems and shit, will then start subscribing.
Yep.
That is their intention.
But yeah, so far we haven't had a final tally of the actual worth of ships blown up come out yet. So, but it'll probably easily reach $1 trillion. I'm thinking, considering just how many players were involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Now you're gonna want to turn that mic back, otherwise the speakers are gonna start being picked up. We're gonna get feedback. It'll be bad.
No, I know. I was just laying down for a minute because my back was killing me.
So, Final Fantasy VII is old.
1990.
97, I want to say.
Yeah, the year I was born.
Yeah. And Final Fantasy VII is a finer vintage than Wesley, so.
Two things were born that year, Final Fantasy VII, and then there's this motherfucker.
Yeah. But no, it was the very first Final Fantasy game I'd ever played. I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but just to reiterate, my first time through the game, I refused to leave Disc 1, because I knew Eris was going to die. I refused to leave it until I had her best limit break and her
ultimate
best weapon. So yeah, by the time I left disc 1, I was like level 50.
Jesus Christ, dude.
The rest of the game was super easy.
Even like the Omega weapons and the Ultimate weapons and all that shit.
Well, those are never super easy. Even at level 99, those are challenging. But no, all the main game was super easy after that. I mean, as I already mentioned, I got to the part where you split into multiple teams to fight Sephiroth, and I never switched teams.
Right.
Because I just killed Sephiroth with the first team. A couple of limit breaks and
Knights of the Round,
and he was dead. And I was like, wait, that's it? I thought there was going to be more to this. It's supposed to be like the final ultimate boss of the game. What the fuck, man? Guy's a pussy!
Yeah, it's like when I fought freaking Yu Yevon in Final Fantasy X. Jesus Christ.
Oh. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. This story still has more in common with the earlier Final Fantasy games. Before they started getting into the let's just throw shit at the fan and see what sticks. Don't get me wrong, the story's still pretty fucking convoluted. And they made it even more convoluted by the sequels and Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which you talked about. That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the prequel we couldn't name, it's Crisis Core.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Crisis Core, then there's the Vincent Valentine standalone, Dirge of Cerberus.
I'm actually interested in that one. Was it any good?
As good as your mom?
Gameplay-wise, I mean.
I don't know, I didn't play that much of it.
Okay.
I never played it. I'm squeezing in your mom joke, because why not?
Yeah.
It's not like she listens to this podcast.
Yet.
But yeah, so the story's it's pretty straightforward. Some of the twists along the way are, at least, I first played it back in high school, so I didn't see them coming. I was a little bit newer to narratives, but I found the romance between Cloud and Aeris and Cloud and Tifa kind of touching. I didn't feel it was overplayed. Some of the later Final Fantasy games and other games, they freaking basically they take the romance plot and form it into a nail, and then they just slam you in the head with it and just, there's romance! Learn about the romance!
You're sitting there, could we just not?
But yeah, this was still a little more on the sweet, understated side.
Yeah.
If you found it trite and annoying, you could mostly ignore it, and it really didn't affect the plot much, outside of a few key scenes. The dating scene is about the most romance it gets, and you can do that with Red 13.
Or Barrett, or Yuffie.
Or Barrett.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember the date scene where you're at the Gold Saucer and you toured the Gold Saucer with either Tifa or Aeris? If you pissed them both off, you would go with either Red 13 or Barrett or
I was talking about the one after Aerith dies. You can get Barrett in there.
Oh. But yeah, so it gets a little heavy on the sci-fi. There's a lot of, but then again, at least this leans more towards some of the old school, better sci-fi manga and anime.
Oh yeah.
More like Akira, not obviously in violence, but in the bizarre sci-fi dystopia type stuff and all the gibberish sci-fi words they throw out, and unlike some of their newer sci-fi stuff where they're like, it's sci-fi and magic and fuck you. Yes, they spent a lot of time trying to explain Mako energy and stuff, but they just gloss over how the fuck the materia does what it does. Just like, materia summons spells. Literally, did you
what
more?
It's magic. We don't have to explain it.
We're done.
I'm just expecting like a Cloud to be like, "What do you want? A cookie?"
Yeah, it's just you know, whereas some of the other games that, you know, they got to try and tie everything up and explain every single little thing that's happening, and that's not even a straight Final Fantasy thing. That is a thing with a lot of video games, especially, tend to do it. Once again, because they have the space to put in all the extra explanation, they automatically do. And it's like, guys, you don't have to explain everything.
We don't need more belt buckles.
You know, I mean, let's face it. J.K. Rowling's already kind of doing this with the Harry Potter films, you know. Some things are fine as these distant past events. I think the part that most upsets me about Fantastic Beasts is them shoehorning in that evil wizard guy. Why the fuck does he have to be in there? Why? I mean, are they by movie 5 going to have it revolving around Dumbledore's battle with that guy? I mean, we don't need another fucking Lord of the Rings, for Christ's sake. We already had the first Harry Potter and He Who Shall Not Be Named and
Voldemort, you know, fucking say it, you asshole.
We don't fucking need that again. We can just have a fun little movie or couple of movies. We don't need 5, but you know, we can just have a few fucking movies where we just watch some dude go play with some cool-looking magical creatures. You know, we don't need to go delve into the frickin' battle from the past. Especially because I doubt I mean, the chances of it, something happening in the movie that makes that battle better, aren't good. Because right now, you know just enough that you know it was cool, and you fill in the blanks, and it's super awesome. And no matter what Rowling does, you probably filled in the blanks better, at least as far as you're concerned. Mm-hmm. Somebody else might think your version sucks, but as far as you're concerned, your version's the best. And there's
hello,
nothing she's
fanfiction
gonna...
Flame Wars.
Yes, hello, fanfiction Flame Wars.
It only gets worse from here.
But yeah, in Final Fantasy VII, they did not, like, not every game, actually I don't think any game yet had the encyclopedia where you can go look up, you know, the fucking detailed history of every little thing that ever happened. I mean, there is not fucking Final Fantasy VII in-game wiki of everything happening. You know, you can't go to Midgar Wikipedia and as Cloud and look up everything that's fucking happening. You know, oh, you want to know how chocobos breed, like, up to and including artificial insemination methods used by breeders, and, you know, we don't need that for it to be a good game.
But they already licensed the domain name Metapedia.
Oh god, I just, you know, I'm sorry about my little outburst of oh god a little bit ago, but I just, the mentioning of fan fiction, all of a sudden, like, and Final Fantasy VII made me remember a horrible piece of lemon /fic, Tifa Cloud /fic that I read.
Just stop there. Just stop there. Let's
move on. You probably know what I'm talking about, don't you, Wesley?
No, but I hear lemon and I know where we're going from there. Let's just stop.
He probably wrote it.
No, trust me. I couldn't write something this horrendous.
No, I meant Wesley.
Oh.
I couldn't write something that horrendous, and I haven't even read it. He's
a sick, twisted mind.
Yeah, let's just say it involves certain biological activities that don't pertain to sex.
Lemon, we get it.
But yeah, so one thing we can't talk about Final Fantasy VII without also mentioning.
I just remember the title too. It's called Cloud Mows the Lawn.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you for that.
Now I'm gonna have to read this. Thank you, RJ.
Yes! So you know, there's going to be a link to it in the description.
No, do not do that.
We do need sponsors.
No.
Will fanfiction.net sponsor us?
If we link... No, trust me, this is not... I don't think this is hosted there. it just.
Anyway,
I can now die with a smile on my face, knowing that I have tortured Wesley for the day.
so Wesley, I don't know whether or not you will have heard of this, but back in 1997, the internet was just barely a thing. Mm-hmm. We were coming off the end of when all sorts of shit was spread around playgrounds and what have you about video games, because that's the only way you learned it. Like, I learned the Contra code from someone on the playground. I learned the Mortal Kombat blood code from someone on the playground.
I learned from the Prima strategy guides and shit.
Yeah, most people weren't making strategy guides back then. Nope, strategy guides were just getting started. I think Final Fantasy VII might have had a strategy guide.
Well, you can buy one for Final
Nintendo
Fantasy.
was doing strategy guides.
I know you can buy.
I bought a Prima strategy guide from Nintendo for the fucking
No.
water temple because I couldn't get my way through that.
Nintendo was doing strategy guides. Nintendo Power did their own strategy guides.
Well, I know Square Enix has made their own strategy guides for Final Fantasies
Whenever
7, 8, and 9.
Whenever Ocarina of Time came out,
Prima was starting, like, because Nintendo, I think, did it first. And then because that was working out well for Nintendo, Prima and then other strategy guide companies started coming out. But they still weren't doing all the games. Final Fantasy VII, they probably did.
Yeah, no. The one thing I remember from when I was around that time that I remember is that where I got my cheat codes from because I didn't have internet yet was I got my mom to buy me one of those big, huge book of cheat codes and stuff from the Scholastic Book Fair.
Okay. But yeah, and the other thing is most of the strategy guides that Prima and everybody was putting out back in the 90s none of the information was being provided by the developer.
Yeah, it was all...
Meaning somebody who works at Prima had to sit down and fucking play the game. And write down everything. They had to find all that stuff. Which means there may have been things they didn't find. There may have been cheat codes they didn't find, so they didn't end up in the strategy guide.
Right.
Where I'm going with this is that this was a fertile hotbed for video game rumors on things that could happen in
like
video
using
games.
strength on the truck in freaking Pokemon.
Yes.
Or the naked glitch for Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was a supposed nude glitch, and then when nobody could find one, they just modded it in.
Yeah, somebody just made a patch.
Here, we're going to put in a patch, because there's nothing better than big triangular titties.
And then, didn't that guy get sued over that?
Probably. Although I think he might have won that lawsuit. Because that, I think, was one of the lawsuits that led to the modding community becoming a
Legit thing.
kind of a legally protected thing, to some degree. If I remember right, I could be wrong on that. But anyway, so the rumor that I'm talking about, that at least back when I played Final Fantasy VII, back in 1998, yeah, because I played it, no, I did play it my freshman year, I think. Maybe my sophomore year. I don't remember. I played it back, no, it must have been 97, because Final Fantasy VIII came out in 98, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I must have done it my freshman year. So yeah, I don't remember whose PlayStation I would have borrowed then, because I didn't have a roommate with a PlayStation until sophomore year. Anyway, so yeah, I played Final Fantasy VII, and there was a big rumor going around that if you did, there were actually like 4 or 5 different rumors, but they all had the same result. You could resurrect Eris if you did certain things.
I know what you're talking about. I watched a video on famous glitch rumors. I forget who was by, but I remember hearing about that one and thinking, yeah, I'm content with Aerith being dead.
But yes, that's where I was going to go with this. Is in your opinion, would your ability to resurrect Eris ruin in any way the game? Would that lessen her sacrifice at all for you? Would that?
Yes.
Admittedly, you already have to gloss over the fact that, you know, when Sephiroth turned away, you could just like stuff a phoenix down her throat and she would have been fine. And now we're just gonna drown her instead.
Oh gosh, don't get into the game theory. I made Josh cry.
But I mean, if you can overlook that, can you not also overlook resurrecting her. Like, she's never in another cutscene. Because she would not have been in any of the cutscenes. Because the cutscenes were pre-rendered and recorded as video files on the disc. They were not rendered in-engine. So the ones you see are the ones you got. So if she was resurrected, you would have been able to put her back into your team and use her, but she would not have had any effect on the story. So
even that would have ruined it.
Your brain that lets you gloss over the fact that the game mechanics and the story didn't jive at her death allow you to forget the game mechanics and the story don't jive at her resurrection.
For me, speaking as someone who I haven't beaten the game, I've watched a Let's Play of it though, and I'm working through the game.
God, everybody hates you.
Just everyone. No. I feel it would have cheapened her death either way, because it would have been like, for me speaking now, I do understand that the game mechanics and the actual story do not jive. It would have lessened the whole, oh, hey, I lost this battle, I just made a grim future type scenario I have when I play these games. So,
But you lose a battle and either you restart or you were always going to lose that battle. These were not pick your own ending games.
Yes, I know.
So no, that's why I'm trying to figure out it, because the game mechanics already undermine the story. Would resurrecting her really undermine it any worse?
I feel like it would.
Why?
Just because, I would, personally speaking, I feel like that would ruin the story, because it's like, hey, Eris had this emotional death where, she got stabbed while trying to save the world and stuff, and her sacrifice, meant something. It would kind of just undermine everything, because it's like, oh, yep, there she is again. Bright as cheerio, just gonna cast Cure on Cloud again. That would have, I felt, really hurt the story.
But, once again, she wouldn't be in any of the cutscenes.
That is true.
And you trying to tell me that shouting at your TV screen, just use a Phoenix down, didn't hurt the story?
It did, to an extent. Yeah, I just... I can't explain why, but it would have cheapened the whole game as a whole.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I'm on the side of, especially because I, leveled her up so fucking high and unlocked all of her limit breaks and shit before she died. I would have loved having her as a playable character again. And let's face it, she wasn't going to appear in the story. So she literally just would have been in the gameplay, and seeing as how I was already separating the gameplay from the story, because the two are not terribly integrated in Final Fantasy VII. There's a few moments where the gameplay and the story are integrated, but not much. Outside of a few mini games, really. I mean, the combat in the story aren't really linked. Let's face it, if the combat and the story were linked, you're a one-man murder machine who fucking killed a full quarter of Midgard's population on your way out of town.
Right.
Especially if you stand around Shinra Tower to grind.
You're just like a mass murderer in a horror movie.
I mean, you're basically, one floor away from showing up at Shinra's recruitment drive as they're trying to replace all the soldiers you just finished murdering. So yeah, for me, the gameplay and the story already did not jive. So I separated them. So for most places in my head, if the gameplay has something going on and it doesn't add up to the story, I don't care. The story is the story and the gameplay is the gameplay. And for me, playing Final Fantasy VII was kind of like playing a fun game that occasionally you took a break from to watch a movie.
That's kind of how I've been approaching Assassin's Creed 3 recently, actually.
Oh, I love Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, you know how I approach Assassin's Creed 3? Uninstall.
I'm the only one who throws
For
it.
free, so...
Yeah. Have you never played it before?
No. I
Okay.
haven't. And actually, yeah, don't get me wrong. Even with the fixes, it's still kind of glitchy as hell, but...
Oh, it's not even the glitches. It's one of the worst stories.
I'm kind of enjoying it so far. Then again, I haven't really played...
How far are you?
I'm like into the first winter right now.
Okay, because by the end of the story, when you were literally showing up at like every major event in the Revolution,
I'll probably hate it. Yeah, I know.
It gets a little annoying.
I mean, already I was a little annoyed by the fact that, oh, hey, Benjamin Franklin. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna.
But hey, it's Boston during the colonial time, so I'll give you that.
You're gonna fucking show up at the Boston Tea Party. You're gonna be involved in the Boston Massacre. You're gonna be at the hanging of Arnold Palmer. That's not right. Benedict Arnold. That's his name.
Yeah.
I thought that was pre-order DLC.
What?
I thought Benedict Arnold was pre-order DLC, or I might be wrong.
You're definitely wrong. Benedict Arnold takes place in the main game.
Okay.
There is a trader DLC type of DLC.
That's what I'm thinking of.
There's a DLC where they re-envision it where Washington, for some reason, he like gets a hold of a piece of Eden and uses it to become king of America.
That one was weird. I didn't like that DLC.
You have to stop him. That was actually kind of fun. But no, the main storyline, and they didn't really add a lot to the gameplay, and yeah, I played through 3 when it first came out, but
Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing it. I'm having fun with it.
I guess one time through is not so bad, but after doing it one time through, yeah, I see no reason to play it again. Black Flag, though.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Replay a bunch. Black Flag was fucking awesome. God, I love that pirate ship. But anyway, so yeah, for me, Final Fantasy VII was basically a video game where you do turn-based fights and you watch a movie occasionally.
Yeah, for me, Final Fantasy VII was just like, I never really played it much, and my brother and my friends did, but I was never really into the Final Fantasy series until 10 came out. And so it was kind of like, oh, you're playing that game with the dude with the impossibly spiky hair? Okay, and the impossibly big sword? Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm going to go back here and play freaking...
Don't forget the other guy with the impossibly spiky hair and the impossibly big sword.
But... whatever. But then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go back over here and keep playing freaking Counter-Strike.
You know, with all this spiky hair talk, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sitting in the background. What about me?
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was talking about the anime.
I've seen the entire anime.
I
Didn't see the sequel, though. See the entire original.
I need to see the first season that didn't air in the U.S.
Yeah.
Apparently it got dark.
Anyways, my final thoughts on Final Fantasy VII. I'm not gonna say it's a game this time like I did last time. But it's, I wouldn't say a classic, but a game I view some people should play.
See, that's where I disagree. I would consider it a classic just because it's so ubiquitous. Like, it's like one of the most popular RPGs out there from back then.
That is true. No, I don't say that people should play it because, oh, it's so ubiquitous. I say people should play it because it's a kind of good game.
All right. My final thoughts on Final Fantasy VII. If you're a fan of turn-based RPG combat, Final Fantasy VII has a pretty tight, fun turn-based RPG combat. I love the materia system. I love the way it works. I love the way the slots and weapons work. I love pairing all materia with cure and
so much
all
better.
sorts of stuff.
So much better than 8's stupid draw system. God fucking
we don't like to acknowledge 8's existence.
Oh, I don't mind 8's story. 8's gameplay was...
That draw system was bullshit.
Yeah, but no, Final Fantasy VII has a very tight gameplay. I love the RPG gameplay in Final Fantasy VII. And the story was not one of the best. I mean, it's not their best, but it's not bad. It's before Square Enix shoved their head up their own ass and got so full of themselves that they started telling these big, epic narratives that are bullshit.
I just... this is going to become the meme for me whenever we talk about Final Fantasy. This is before belt buckles.
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can see the beginnings of that trend in Final Fantasy VII. I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII kind of started that trend.
Cloud's hair.
No. Because the definition of an original PlayStation was not enough where they could go all out on the visuals yet outside of the cutscenes.
Well, no, I was just talking about, like, how spiky
I don't know.
it is.
Final Fantasy VIII got pretty detailed.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII wasn't.
Yeah, that was because they were still working with a different engine, I think.
Yeah, no, that was their first 3D PlayStation 1. And actually development started on the Super Nintendo disk drive, if I remember right. Back when a Nintendo was going to be releasing a CD-ROM drive for the Super Nintendo.
Yep. And then they didn't.
Well, then they had some sort of fight with Sony, because Sony was providing the disk drive for it. And then something happened between Nintendo and Sony, so Sony went, all right, we'll just take what we know and make our own game system. What the fuck?
Actually, I think it was the fact that Sony was just like, you know what, fuck you guys. We're not. It was like, I don't think it was like a fall. I think Sony just said, you know what, we want to make some of this console money.
No, there was definitely a falling out because, especially still back in the 90s, a Japanese company would never go back on a deal like that for monetary reasons. Nintendo would have had to have given them some sort of reason. Now, it might have been that Sony wanted a bigger cut than Nintendo was willing to give, or something like that.
Right.
But there's no way Sony just would have stabbed them in the back and went, nope, we want this money, we don't want to share, fuck off. That's just not Japanese mentality, especially back in the 90s.
Okay. I just realized I'm making a lot of noise with that.
Yeah.
What is that?
Too. RJ's playing with his trash.
I was trying to get my
He
trash
set
together.
it directly in front of the microphone to do it. But no, especially with the story, some of the more convoluted parts of Final Fantasy VII's story, that is, you can tell, the beginnings of Square Enix's dive into, we must add it because we can add it. They had space for the full cutscenes and all of that, so they threw in just fuck tons of them.
Right.
So yeah, I recommend the game to anyone who likes turn-based RPGs. Like I said, it's got one of the tightest turn-based RPG mechanics I'm aware of. I mean, there are better. Final Fantasy VI was pretty damn tight.
I still think I prefer Final Fantasy X's turn-based system.
I've never played 10, so I can't compare to 10.
What I liked about it is that they actually had like a little chart up in the corner that you could see whose turn it was currently, and then who was coming up next, and then how your different actions would affect the turn order.
Okay. That wouldn't be necessary in Final Fantasy VII.
No, I liked it.
Well, I'm saying it sounds like Final Fantasy X made a few changes to the way behavior worked, because in Final Fantasy VII, everybody has a speed. Your individual speed. You go zip, you've got a bar that fills up. But nothing you do outside of haste and slow affects that speed. It's not like taking a sword swing you can recover from more quickly than, say, a summon spell.
No, if I remember correctly, in 10, that's actually how it, like, you would go like, okay, I want to summon this, and then, like, you would see, like, your spot in the turn order further down switch around.
Right. But, see, in Final Fantasy VII, that would not have happened. Changing which attack you picked would not change where you went later in the turn order. You would take your action, then you'd go. So if you were, 5th down the turn order, you were going to stay 5th down the turn order.
How do I put this? Like, it would be your turn, like, on, like, let's say Titus, and you would go to, like, an attack.
Right.
And then also...
And your next turn would be, like, 3. Yeah. But if you went to summon, your next turn would be, like, 5.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy VII, if it's Cloud's turn, and Cloud's next turn would be 3, it would be 3 whether he picked attack, summon, or masturbate. It would always have been 3.
Okay.
Because choosing a different attack would not have affected where he went later than that. So like I said, the system you're talking about wouldn't have really been as useful in 7. In 10, it sounds like it's very useful because of that mechanic of choosing a different attack affects where your next turn is going to be. But in 7, it didn't affect where your next turn was going to be. So
plus, you could actively swap party members too.
Yep, couldn't do that in 7. So I do think. Well, I think there was one of the Final Fantasy. God, there was another Final Fantasy game I played that wasn't 10 because I never played 10 that did something similar to what you're talking about. And I can't remember what it was. I'm curious if it was before or after 10. Huh. I don't know where the system was pioneered, but anyway. Gosh, we are running out of time. We're probably going to run long. So, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes. Okay. Christmas I can appreciate.
Shitter's full.
This is the 3rd National Lampoon movie. From what I understand, it is a return to form. I never saw European Vacation, so I don't know.
Either.
I don't know, but I do know that European Vacation was not as well received as Vacation and Christmas Vacation.
I actually never saw the original Vacation.
You've never seen National Lampoon's Vacation?
Not that I remember.
Oh, wow.
Me
Okay.
I've only ever seen the Christmas Vacation.
What'd you say, Wes?
I haven't seen the original Vacation. All we did was watch the 2016 remake. Or
And then we
2015.
immediately turned around and watched the new one, or the original.
Did we?
Yes! It's the one where they go to Wally World?
You showed me the ending.
Here, so I'm not playing with it.
No, pretty sure we watched the whole thing, Wes.
Okay. Yeah. A good
Because-
movies, so.
Yeah, it's Christy Brinkley in the swimming pool naked.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember.
He's not very bright.
I'm not very bright.
Anyway,
Moving on.
but yeah, I've never seen European Vacation. I just know that it was not as well received as the other two. And it was not, everything since has not been as well received. Nothing since Christmas Vacation is No, actually, there were two spin-off sequel things that did in fact have the National Lampoon's title, I think. Come to think of it.
Yeah,
Because they did a Christmas Vacation 2 that followed Cousin Eddie doing
I remember
something
that.
somewhere. And there was another one. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. But Vegas Vacation was not given the National Lampoon name. The new remake obviously wasn't.
And somehow my parents think that that's an awesome film. I'm scared for my life.
Your parents are dumb.
No,
But anyway.
apparently
Yeah,
they were laughing at the kid with the plastic bag.
Clearly, they're mad at you for not growing up to be a serial killer.
Apparently.
Have you seen the new one, RJ?
No, I refuse to watch that.
Good idea. There's a scene in the new one where the two brothers are in the back seat, and the younger brother literally takes a plastic bag, wraps it over his older brother's head, and is choking him out while his
That's
parents...
not funny. That's
while
horrifying.
while his parents are doing, they're scolding him as if it was, Timmy crossed the middle line that we imaginarily, they were treating it like that kind of brothers dispute when it was literally the younger brother attempting to straight up murder the older brother.
Jesus Christ, that's horrifying.
Yes, no, it's a terrible film. I hate the fuck out of it. Yeah, there's a whole scene where they climb into raw sewage. Yeah, no, it's about the only amusing parts are with what's his name? Thor. Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. He's in it and he has some genuinely amusing parts, but that's like 10 minutes of the movie and the rest of it's fucking retarded.
I love Christmas Vacation. though. It's like one of my favorite Christmas time movies.
Yeah. Christmas Vacation's damn good. I still think the original Vacation's probably better. But yeah, Christmas Vacation is good. The comedic timing on a lot of it is really good. You gotta admit, if they had put anybody other than Chevy Chase in the movie, it probably wouldn't have been as good, because a lot of the jokes on paper are actually pretty fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
But Chevy Chase's delivery and his earnestness and his he is doing these absolutely stupid things that in any other movie you'd be sitting there banging your head going, oh my God, what the fuck am I watching? And Chevy Chase's delivery somehow makes you go, yeah, I could see my dad doing that.
Yeah, I know, right? My favorite part of that whole movie is right towards the end where he goes on a rant about his boss.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want you with a big bow.
And Cousin Eddie runs off and does it.
No, my favorite part is right towards like, hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Yeah. The whole cast did a pretty good job. I mean, the kids were they were kids. But
no, I just love his delivery of that whole rant there. I don't know if you noticed, but the brother Rusty is played by the same guy who plays. Yeah, what's his name? He's like Dennis Quaid's brother or whatever.
No, Randy Quaid plays Cousin Eddie.
Oh.
Clark's son, Rusty.
Oh yeah,
is played by the same guy that plays Leonard in Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Johnny Galecki.
Holy shit! I didn't realize that until now.
Yep.
No. Because see, the one thing I remember Galecki from, or whatever the fuck his name is from freaking Roseanne or whatever.
Yep, he was in Roseanne.
I still forget that sometimes because I always remember him from Big Bang Theory.
But yeah, and this is the third set of kids that have been in the movies. In fact, outside of those two spin-off things, I can't remember, they never had the same actors play the kids.
Right.
Supposedly, from what I understand, it was supposed to be some joke that Chevy Chase had where he's always playing this super earnest father, but he wouldn't even recognize if his kids changed.
That's actually kind of clever.
So yeah, it's this meta joke.
That's actually kind of clever.
And in Vegas Vacation, they actually vocalized it. Chevy Chase has a line, I think it's near the beginning of the movie, where he says something like, I hardly see you guys, or I never see you guys anymore, I hardly recognize you. And of course, they're played by completely different actors for the fourth time.
Oh my god. It's
awesome. But yeah, there are a lot of jokes in this that if it wasn't Chevy Chase, they would fall flat. They would be fucking terrible. And Beverly D'Angelo does a great job as his wife.
Oh yeah. And she's hot too.
the parent. Well, then you should watch Vacation. There's a topless scene in it, or a shower scene. Yeah, you see Christy Brinkley naked in a swimming pool and Beverly D'Angelo naked in a shower. Yes. Because that was an R-rated film.
Yeah. This was PG-13, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yep. After the first one, so many families did the classic family thing of, yes, the children can watch the movie, but you cover their eyes during the nude scenes, or you fast forward it or whatever.
And then they got a bunch of complaints and shit.
No, it became a popular family film.
Oh,
so when they made European Vacation, they shot for a PG-13 rating.
So more families would see it at the theater.
To bring in the more family audiences, and they kept that up with Christmas Vacation, and then Vegas Vacation actually dropped down to a PG rating.
That's weird.
Yeah, in fact, the only two R-rated films are the original Vacation and the remake/sequel Vacation. They just came out here a couple years ago. Those are the only two R-rated ones.
Oh my god!
But no, the actors in the movie did a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of like all these different scenes from the movie right now.
Even the neighbors who were barely in it.
I love them.
They did a great job. Did you notice that the one is Elaine from Seinfeld?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the wife.
I just did myself.
The wife was Elaine from Seinfeld.
Wow, I didn't realize that until just now. Holy shit. No, that my favorite part with those neighbors is when Clark turns the Christmas lights on, and all of a sudden it's just like.
I think my favorite part is, the Elaine, we're going to call her Elaine, I can't remember her name in the movie, she goes over to the Griswolds to complain because Clark had just cut down the tree in the front lawn and fallen into their window. So she went over to complain, and the dog and squirrel jump on her, and her and her husband had a fight before she went over there, and he wasn't man enough to fucking, go over and talk to the Griswolds, so she did, and then she gets attacked by a fucking dog and squirrel, so she marches back into her house, and, he sees her, and he's like, is there something, what happened, or is there something wrong? She doesn't say anything. She just hauls off and clocks him. And it was fucking great.
I remember that.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And I love at the end of the movie when they kidnap the boss, and they've worked it out, and, like, the SWAT team shows up, and they bring the guy's wife, and, they're like, oh no, it's a big misunderstanding, and the boss guy's like, yeah, you remember how I was gonna cancel the bonuses? And his wife's like, oh my god, you have got to be the biggest idiot, you actually did that? And the commander of the SWAT team looks at him and goes, really, you canceled Christmas bonuses? I probably would have done this too, or, something like that.
I remember.
Like everybody's against the fucking boss now because he canceled Christmas bonuses, and...
Oh yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah, God, this movie. Yeah, I like this movie. I've been watching this movie since I was about 2, I want to say.
Yeah, I've been watching this movie for as long as I can remember, every freaking Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic movie. Fucking hilarious.
The fucking flying Santa Claus.
At the end of the film, yeah.
And then what's her face singing the national anthem? Wait, no, it wasn't the national anthem. It was
Star Spangled Banner. No, that wasn't national anthem.
No, it was
Was it the Pledge of Allegiance?
No,
that was at dinner. Instead of saying grace, she said the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, halfway through, Randy Quaid stands up, puts his hand over his heart.
Oh, I gotta watch this movie now. Fuck.
And then at the end, everybody just goes, amen.
I think she was singing America the Beautiful.
It might have been.
It was like, I just remember
Shoot, I'm gonna rewatch this
patriotic song. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, it was some sort of patriotic song. I want to say it was America the Beautiful, if I remember correctly.
What's funny? After hearing this, I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie tonight.
Just so you get down here so we can all watch it together.
No, that's what we should do Christmas Day.
I'm gonna be in Michigan Christmas Day.
Yeah, we gotta do this like before he goes to Michigan.
Okay.
Which is Christmas Eve.
So yeah, like in like the next week or
it's 2 weeks from yesterday is Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so about like
so 2 weeks from today, I will be in Michigan.
So the next like week and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get your ass down here.
I'm moving down the 18th.
Wesley's coming down.
Okay, so you're for sure coming down here that day?
Wesley is, he's got plans to be picked up on Sunday the 18th. He will even be back here in time for this podcast.
Oh, cool. Are you picking him up or is
Julie is?
Oh, Julie is. Okay.
Yeah. Julie's taking her SUV so they can load up all his shit.
That was nice of her.
I'm terribly curious if a thing is going to happen. It might. I'll talk about it after the podcast. So many funny things that, like I said, on paper should not work.
Right, I know, but Chevy Chase, he's just there and it worked somehow.
Yeah, I mean, you think about just if literally anybody, I mean, you've seen other people try this. And actually, for my money, that is part of why the new Vacation failed. Yep. They were trying very similar things to what the original Vacation did, but without that original cast.
Right. The only movie that came close to replicating the funny of Chevy Chase in the Vacation movies was probably Robin Williams in RV.
Have I seen that one?
I don't think I have.
I don't remember.
I
can believe it because Robin Williams is damn good too.
Yeah. It didn't come close to like the type of humor, but it definitely is definitely on par, I would think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should also do. Watch Robin Williams stand up while we're down there.
I don't know if you guys looked at the topics things, but next time we don't have anything to talk about, I added Spies Like Us.
Oh,
Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
I am terribly curious.
It actually reminds me, one of the movies I want to watch for the podcast is Sergeant Bilko.
Oh, yeah. Is that on the list yet, Wesley? Make a mental note. Put it on the list. Or just put it on the list.
Was Sergeant Bilko the one where they had the RV, like the super advanced RV?
Tank.
No, there was this one movie. I wish I could remember what it was.
Sergeant Bilko's got Steve Martin.
Yeah, no, there was this movie. I think it had Steve Martin in it, where they were in like Germany or whatever with this. I think it had Dan Aykroyd in it, and they had like this super like advanced RV that had a bunch of like this like spy gear and shit in it, and they ended up in Russia with it.
Are you thinking Spies Like Us?
I don't remember. That's the thing.
Because that definitely involved Dan Aykroyd, and they were definitely in Russia.
Yeah, but fucking hell, you know, where's my phone? I gotta Google this shit.
Anyway, bottom line, Christmas Vacation is fucking fantastic. It is probably not the best comedy out there. It's probably not even the best Chevy Chase comedy out there. But it's a damn fine Christmas movie. It's better than fucking 90% of Christmas movies and 99% of Christmas comedy movies. It's pretty damn family friendly. I mean, it's PG-13. They've got, you know, some jokes and shit in it, but let's face it, you kids have probably already seen something PG-13.
Well, you're watching us.
Huh?
Well, you're watching us.
Yeah. So yeah, bottom line, it's a great fucking movie. I recommend it wholeheartedly. And if I ever hear Hollywood talk about remaking it, I'm gonna get in my car, I'm gonna fucking drive to Hollywood, I'm gonna stab some bitches. Because they will fuck it up, and I don't want that in my life.
We don't need another Ghostbusters.
How about you, Wes?
Bottom line, I like I said, I've been watching it since I was 2, and I don't loathe it completely. I love it. It's a good movie.
You have the weirdest justifications for things. I've been watching it since I was 2, and I don't loathe it completely.
What I mean is, I've been watching it since I was 2, and I haven't yet come to loathe it at all. There are a lot of things from when I was 2 that I have come to loathe nowadays.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So most of your fashion choices you didn't start making until you were 3 then?
No, 13.
Oh.
Doesn't that explain it?
Yeah, but it raises whole new questions, like, why was a 13-year-old dressing like a 3-year-old?
I had low standards.
Well, if some of your ex-girlfriends is any indication.
His ex-girlfriends are definitely an indication of his standards, RJ. That's the way standards work.
One's pregnant, another has a dying boyfriend, allegedly. Yeah, I'm pretty good on track.
So what do you say, RJ?
Dude, Christmas Vacation, definitely my favorite movies. Mostly because of the fact that, one, I could see my dad totally doing what Chevy Chase does with the whole Christmas light situation, going overboard. And then I also had an uncle that reminds me totally of Randy Quaid's character.
Cousin Eddie.
Yep, I can remember the...
You ever have an uncle like the uncle in the movie who was like hard of hearing and was always shouting at the aunt?
No.
Oh, I had an uncle like that. They're entertaining.
I have an uncle who I'm half sure is a stoner.
Half sure?
Half sure.
When you walked into his bedroom and were hotboxing, that should definitely have qualified entirely.
Well, no. The reason why I wonder is because he's the one who takes me to Soundset every year. Yet he and his wife always disappear for an indiscernible amount of time. And usually I justify it because it's like, you know, they have 2 kids and my grandma lives there too. I'm like, you know, I could understand that happening.
They go to a concert with you and then blow off the concert to visit your grandparents.
No, they blow off the concert to go other places.
Are you sure they don't stay at the concert and blow you off?
That's probably what they do.
Okay, I found the name of the movie I was thinking of, and I wasn't even thinking of the right actors. It was Stripes.
Oh, Stripes! Wow, you were way off.
Yeah.
Because that's Bill Murray and...
You know what? I'd probably associate Bill Murray with Dan Aykroyd because of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but that's got Bill Murray and... I can't think of his name all of a sudden. The fucker who plays Spangler in Ghostbusters.
Oh, shoot. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Yeah, Harold Ramis.
who I'm fairly certain directed the original.
Oh, it
Vacation.
has John Candy.
Oh yeah, it's got John Candy. It's got
Warren Oates and PJ Souls.
Yep.
So
Those were the guys. Like John Candy was supposed to be in Ghostbusters originally. He chose not to do it, so they brought on Rick Moranis, which, to be fair, worked out really well. But that's a whole different discussion. We'll talk about Ghostbusters another day. All right, so next week on the Esoteric Podcast, we are talking about, oh God help us, Suicide Squad.
Yee, I know what we're reviewing next week for
Suicide Squad.
For the OST review.
Oh God. Suicide Squad will be dropping on DVD on Tuesday after our live stream of this episode. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, the DVD's already out, or the Blu-ray's already out.
Are we watching the extended cut?
Yes, we're gonna watch the extended
Lord.
cut,
I'm probably gonna see this crap
and it's gonna
movie.
make me cry. God, I hate this movie. And then, yay, Rogue One.
Yes. I'm actually saving my money for that so we can go see it at the theater. Is that this Friday?
As far as I know, probably Thursday night preview.
Ooh,
Yeah, probably a midnight preview Thursday night.
We're gonna have to go see a matinee on Saturday so I can see it before work.
Yeah, that is a thing we'll have to discuss.
Or figure it out.
So yeah, that is this week's podcast. Once again, this is the Esoteric Podcast. You are maybe listening to us live on twitch.tv/the_esoteric_podcast. Or maybe you're checking us out over on YouTube, where you're going to have to search for us because we don't have a cool URL. If you're really cool, you're checking us out at www.theesotericpodcast.com, where our blog is, where links to our videos go up, and our videos are embedded, although we don't have video yet. It's more or less audio with this silly-ass logo you're seeing.
Remember, we always said you have a face for radio.
Yes, I have a face for radio. Actually, at work this past week, somebody stopped me and said, "Are you on the radio?" Like, earnestly. They actually thought that I should be on the radio. So, hey, that's cool.
No, you do got one of those voices that you think you'd hear on the radio, probably.
Yeah, but check us out on Twitter, where right now you can just find out when we post our videos, because that's literally everything we do on Twitter right now. But New Year's resolution, stop sucking at Twitter.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Start streaming and doing YouTube videos again.
Do more YouTube videos. Oh, wait, I have to have a job.
Yep, you can check out Wesley over on his YouTube channel, where he is Demos I, DEMOS space I. Wesley puts weird-ass punctuation in things for reasons nobody understands.
Because reasons.
Starting in this new year, you can check out RJ on twitch.tv/Tuskgarr.
Also at youtube.com/Tuskgarr.
Also at you get a special URL? You're cool enough to get a special URL?
Yeah, years ago I made a reply video to back when Felicia Day was doing the Guild series or whatever. I made a reply video to one of their episodes or one of their one of their videos or something like that, saying like keep up the good work or something like that, and they got enough views to where it triggered their automated you want a partnership system thing.
I have 2,000 views on my channel. What the?
I'm guessing they've upped the number of views you need in the
this
time
was like
since.
years ago, and they just they never rescinded the partnership thing, even though I don't have enough traffic. So
I'm pretty sure it's always a one. I mean, what are they going to do? Give it to somebody else who wants to be Tuskgarr now that you've had it for years? Yeah. I mean, it can actually be really difficult to reuse URLs.
I think I've got the custom URL. I actually can't remember. I want to say I do.
Oh, now you might not even have one.
Now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, oh shit, am I actually correct in that? But look, my username on YouTube is Tuskgarr, Tuskgarr.
Yep. So at the very least, you can search them out. And if you like what we're doing, you want to support us. Send us $10 over, or $10 a piece. That'd be $30 over on Patreon, so we can all go see Rogue One this weekend. That would be cool. Send us, $60, and we'll buy a video game, and we can share it amongst each other.
It's my turn.
You want to be really awesome? Send us $1,000 so we can build a new streaming PC to.
Yeah, we could use a better streaming PC. We could get some video equipment. You can see us. We get some video equipment. We're actually investigating putting up some skit type videos and stuff, and not just our opinions on things, but also just what we think is funny in a skit, which may get less traffic than our opinion videos.
I didn't think that was possible.
It's views on YouTube. I'm curious.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out.
Somehow we owe them views now. This is weird.
Yeah. So check us out over on Patreon. We're patreon.com/Esoteric Podcast. Check us out. Give us some money. Just say hi in a video comment on Twitter, on Patreon. Let us know you're listening. Let us know you like what we're doing. Let us know if there's something specific you want to hear us talking about.
Heck, give us some creative feedback if you feel up to it. Let us know how we can improve ourselves.
Yeah. We would love to participate with people. We even have a person, right, Wesley, who is watching these streams in case these messages come in.
I have to start chat in half an hour. Oh, we got nothing yet.
Okay, good. How about, like, Twitter?
I'm supposed to check Twitter too? Oh, okay, phone.
Tell me you had the app installed!
Oh my god, Wesley, learn to Twitter good.
I have Twitter on my phone.
So if we got a private message or somebody mentioned us, you would get...
Yes, I would get a notification.
Okay, good. So yeah, you're monitoring. And you get the emails from Google, right? If somebody comments on a video? Is that a thing?
No, I think I'd get a notification from YouTube itself.
Yeah, you should get a notification through, like, the YouTube app.
But still, we would know if anybody commented and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Super! So yeah, go ahead, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you.
Call lines are always open.
Please don't call me. Telephones scare me. It rings, I hide in the other corner, you know?
Because it's a bill collector.
Yes, it's a bill collector. That's why telephones scare me. It's a learned behavior, man. So anyway, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed what we were giving you. And Wesley, tell us about our music guy.
Okay. Un memento. The producer of our Interest and Outros and artist by the name of Music Music. I've worked with him in the past. He's an amazing producer. There will be a link to his channel in the YouTube description. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you next time, and goodbye.